And this was mixed in Puck in Denmark.
Yeah.
So you all flew. So why? Yeah, as I say, I'm thinking of the budgets these days. Budgets are a lot smaller. So record in Paris. Why do it?
Going away.
So it was just an excuse to get away, wasn't it?
Totally excuse to go away.
Is that all it was? Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously I've been to Hansa a few times, and I always regret that I didn't go to the Hansa with them. Because I never got to work there, and it was so iconic for all these reasons. So that would have been. But obviously, you did choose a studio that had the qualities, like Hansa had and space in. Yeah. Paris had these qualities, but Puck was just another reason to. I think that backfired a little bit because I don't know if they knew that it was in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it really was.
Oh, so there's nowhere to go out.
Absolutely. So the nearest town was Aarhus, and we used to get cabs there pretty much. I mean, they had one nightclub, But we used to like going out clubbing, and we were the same age. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, my main memory is really not of I remember the recording, but I remember having the fun as well. Good lads to hang out with.
How long was the entire process from the time you started? Was that 3 months, or was it? Yeah.
More than that, I think. Yeah. Because was 3 stages. There's the French stage. Yeah. Then we did quite a bit of stuff at Conk in London.
Yes.
Including some vocals, I think. And Daniel was, because it was in London, Daniel was around. We did a bit of stuff on Never Let Me Down, with him being around. And then, we finished. We did finish some of the recording and mixed it at Puck.
So Daniel was always like popping in and just...
Not a lot, actually, mainly because we're away and he's busy, That's one of the reasons he wanted to stop being day in in the studio. He had a lot of other stuff on his plate. So he'd pop over to Denmark or Paris. Yeah, quite a lot, but not... It wasn't interfering.
Sure.
It was only when we were in London, really. We did some great stuff with him, actually. It was really good. We did... and this... Well, you might be interested in this, that I'll Never Let Me Down, which is probably one of my favourite tracks, but the guitar we did at Puck...
Yes.
And then we put it through an ARP 2600. Which
was a happy accident, this was it?
That's right.
This is one of the questions. Please go ahead.
All right. Well, the part itself wasn't a happy accident. It had been worked out, but I think it was probably a synth part, and then we decided, let's do it on guitar.
So Martin played that in, you recorded that.
And I remember, I think I went out, set the amp up, and then messing around with a few effects pedals. And I remember them, I was just mucking about, and then they all went, Daniel, went, that's good. And then we put it through Daniel's synth, an ARP 2600, filtered it a bit more. But the happy accident was that it's just the way that samplers work. But then obviously Martin had played this a few times, and we picked the best one.
The best,
like everyone does these days. But then we put it in the Synclavier because that was the best quality sampler we had.
Yes.
And then you basically you record it back into the track by triggering it. So you have to edit it so you trigger it.
Yeah.
And then the way you had to do it, there was like a flashing light, and you had to press it just before the way you wanted it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, press it, and then it would trigger the thing in time. So that's and I was prepared to do this in all the various spots that it was supposed to happen in the song. But what I'd forgotten was that this thing would trigger off by itself right at the beginning of the song, automatically.
I see.
And so we'd left a 2-bar count in, and then with the snare, so I just wound it back to the beginning, and I was preparing to do my bit, and off it went. And you
can't imagine it starting without that. I know. Because it would have just started with a snare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just obviously...
As legend has it.
In the heavens it's meant to be. Yeah. But that was a lovely moment because we all looked and just thought, wow, that's just perfect.
Yeah, so let's just talk about, as I say, we have talked about the individuals in the studio. You say it was really Alan who was kind of steering this. And Fletch, and then Dave would just really come in to do his vocals. And...
Dave had some opinions, but again, he wasn't really interested in the He's at the end. I say Alan loved the process, and the rest of them didn't. Really.
Yes. Okay, and I've asked which was the easiest, hardest track. Right, I want to ask you something. Martin's voice, I've talked about this on my channel, is I love his voice. It's definitely a lot more dynamic and colourful than Dave's. Not that it's competition. The way their voices blend together is very iconic. But on the Behind the Wheel, you've got that ha 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 ha. Was that Martin's voice, or is that a...
That is Martin's voice.
Yeah.
Sampled
I thought so. So he'd go
in the emulator.
So he'd go ha ha, or you go ha, and then you'd sample it.
Yeah, I can't remember whether there was all one sample that was pitched, which it probably was.
But that was his voice.
Yeah, it was his voice.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we do multi-samples, so he would actually sing the notes and we'd chop them up.
And also on the song Pimp, you've got that those are their voices as well.
All Martin.
It's all Martin. Martin doing the ho, because he's got quite a deep baritone.
I loved that. I mean, that was one of those moments that I've mentioned a few times where it's a privilege to watch the process because I remember him doing that, thinking that's just amazing. He's got such eclectic, wide taste, and he's got this operatic thing going through.
Yeah. While he was recording it.
Yeah. Well, no, just the fact
he had it all here.
Maybe, yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe he'd done it on demo. I don't know. I can't remember. He probably had, but yes, but he had it all worked out, and it was like watching any really great musician just do it, and everything would be. It's very easy and quite quick.
Yeah,
and the results are staggering. It's just so unique. I've never had anybody do like that. That's one of my favourite tracks.
It is, but actually, while we're talking about on the subject of Pimp, it was a very strange. I love the track, but a very strange track to have on there. How did it make it onto the album?
Well, it was B-side.
It was the B-side to Strange Love, is that right?
And then what happened was they'd gone out to do a video for something, and I had a day by myself, nothing to do. And I just thought, never quite happy with that mix, just see what could happen. So I remixed it. They came in and they went, oh yeah, and it was much better.
Yeah.
And so whether that was sort of swung it to go on the album, I don't know. And I can't remember who decided it should, but maybe I certainly loved it. I might have said, yeah, I think this is but anybody could have said it's good enough to go on the album. I really can't remember. But that's how it happened.
No, it's interesting because obviously we're talking about the album now, and of course on CD releases they included tracks like Agent Orange, and there was Pleasure Little Treasure, which you did that as well, although it was not one of their, as Will says, not bad, or not one of their best.
There's a bit of trivia for that one actually, because I listened to it this morning and I've forgotten. But they had this reverb that had just come out called a Call something or other. I don't know what the name was. They had a remote control. And that was, I'd never seen that before. And literally, that rec mix, if you listen to little sequence of thing, it's got a different reverb on every bar. It's just me sitting there with a remote control doing that, changing all the reverb. Some reverbs you sweat hours on and get it all crafted. This is me just going through all the presets in sort of time, you know. And it works great.
Well, is that the end where it goes, oh, two?
No, that's a different thing.
Okay,
this is just, I mean, it's a bit, maybe it's not as noticeable as you think, as I think.
I see, yeah.
But you'll just hear if you listen, you'll hear the reverbs changing the perspective on the main riff all the way through.
No, I mean, obviously listening to the albums, we just see it as perfection. You know, we hold it up as one of well, the most famous Depeche Mode albums with most fans: Black Celebration, Music for the Masses, Songs of Faith and Devotion, and Violator. But obviously you could see the flaws. In hindsight, is there anything you would have done differently?
Well, some details like Sacred. I'm never happy with the mix on that.
Sacred, in terms of what?
It was.
It's because I'm fascinated because I just
because I had a monitor mix of that, which I think I lost. Actually, no, I did resurface online. There's a cassette mix that I've done, and that was much more how it should have been. And I tried too hard on this mix, and I remember thinking, I can't get all these parts. And I actually remember saying to Martin, I think I might have to leave out some of the parts. And he really wasn't happy about that.
Because there were too many parts.
Yeah, because I hadn't mixed it correctly. I mean, there wasn't. In fact, there wasn't. But I emphasised certain things. And that was inexperience, really. I think now I would know that I'd gone off on a tangent. It would be a lot easier. I mean, we didn't refer to rough mixes in those days.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's only after the event that I found this or whatever. And I thought, that's what it should have sounded like, you know. I can't describe really what I don't like about it, but it's not as gritty and as glam as it should have been, you know.
Well, it's, as you say, you listened to it obviously this morning just to brush up your memory on it, and what came to mind when you listened to it?
Well, I didn't listen to that one actually because I know I don't like my mix on it. So, you know. I mean, if you can be bothered to dig out this rough mix, I think it's on YouTube somewhere. And
they'll find it.
Yeah, well,
guys are geeky. They'll find
that's a better mix, guys. They probably did it in 5 minutes. You know?
Oh, right.
That's how it was those days. But I know they went through a lot of that on Violator actually. With what's the big tracks on that?
On Violator, Sea of Sin.
No, the big singles.
Enjoy Silence.
Enjoy the Silence. It was.
Yeah.
Where I know that Flood had done exactly that. Done a rough mix on a cassette. And Kevorkian didn't get anywhere near it, and Daniel eventually went away, and they all had a go trying to recreate it because he had no notes of those things. And it was just he didn't have a computer session, so they spent a long time trying to recreate the vibe of that rough mix. Now that's kind of what I feel. I wish I'd realised, or someone else had pointed out. You know, actually, Sacred could have been better in that sense. That's one that got away, I think. So in terms of my end,
it is interesting that you say that because we, as the fanboys and the people who genuinely love it, we could, people are just, you'll read some of the comments below my YouTube videos, people just put it up as sonic perfection, and, so only you could see the
Well, of course, but that's like, when you hear I'm not comparing my work with those, but if you hear the Beatles outtakes, which,
Yeah.
you know, people are always desperate to find more of those. And you think, well, what's wrong with that version? But it's only when you're there at the time. I mean, the version that's on Music of Masses of Sacred is totally valid. There's nothing wrong with it, really. I just know it could have been better. You know?
Yeah, okay.
But it's not like it's crap.
Yeah.
So.
So let's jump into what synths were used.
Oh man. Okay. A lot of stuff was on the ARP 2600, which was Daniel's. We borrowed basically mostly Daniel's synths. We had a Cobalt.
RSF Cobalt. Yeah.
God knows.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah. I mean, I'm not much on synth. I didn't really get involved in that too much. I'm just a Mini Moog, which is always fantastic for bass, obviously.
Yes.
All sorts. What else was there? The Emulator 2 was a big feature for sampling. Synclavier for posh sampling when we needed to keep the integrity more. Other synths, there must have been some other ones there. Where else did we use? I can't remember.
Yes, but basically everything that was current at the time.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think the Cobalt and certainly the art wasn't current particularly. So it was, we didn't like the sort of modern synths. I think we might have had a couple of modern synths around for convenience, but I say the no preset rule. Ruled most of them out. You know?
I see.
So polyphonic ones, we must have had a few, but I can't remember what they were.
So was Alan sort of like instrumental, sort of like building all the sounds and
well, a lot of time. I think Martin used to like
creating
dabbling
sounds.
the analog stuff.
Okay.
But with all the samples, pretty much that was all Alan.
Yeah, all Alan. Yeah.
And a lot of the synth was Alan as well. So,
Very underrated and very much missed from this band. Vocal mics. What used if you said? So probably just like U87s or.
I think so with Dave. I think Martin would use the B&K 4600.
So would you use a different mic for Martin than for Dave? Yeah. And why is that?
Just suited his voice more.
You suited his voice. Yeah. How would you describe recording the singers? Who would kind of get it right the first time?
God. Well, I don't know. It's interesting. Martin pretty much got it right first time
because he's just got this.
He's got the pitch.
He's got the pitch.
And it's his song, I suppose. He knew what was going on. Dave was very painless to do his vocals. Yeah. There was a few times when I think Alan had an idea on a particular melody, a certain variation on a melody that Dave couldn't quite get in his head sometimes. But in terms of vibe of the thing, I mean, Dave was pretty much on it. I didn't need a lot of direction.
Sure, I mean, they were very, very experienced by this stage as well. Yeah. And I think, as we say, Martin said in an interview that Alan was great to have around because it was almost like having a school teacher to kind of check your stuff. Like he could take the idea and just run with it.
Very much. Yeah. I mean, especially when you hear his piano work, I mean, it just shows what a great musician he is.
Yeah. Because I think there's a rumor they wanted to include. Was it that? Dun, 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 dun. What's that? Sonata 5? They wanted to include that on the album?
Yeah, well, see, I've only just seen that on with Spotify.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about that. I don't even know if I recorded it. Maybe I did.
Because he did play that, and it's a flawless performance. I think right at the end there's one off note, as I say, but that just proved what a great musician he was.
Absolutely.
He just really was.
But the one other one you mentioned earlier on with a weird name, I don't remember anything about that.
Oh, Stiarnia.
Yeah. Was that like a?
That was a B-side. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Stiarnia. It's an Icelandic word for star.
Oh, okay.
But this is a long time ago, Dave.
Yeah.
So it was a.
I think it might be. Well, I don't remember it. So.
Was it I stand corrected, guys?
It's on Spotify as part of the Music for the Masses.
I was sure it was music for because it's got that same kind of music video to Little 15. It's got that same kind of look. Here's a question, Dave. Would you be willing to offer an opinion on any recent Depeche Mode albums?
I have to be honest, I haven't heard any of them.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. Good answer. You get out of that one.
but okay, just to say something, I haven't heard anything from singles that's particularly excited me.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. I appreciate your honesty there. Here's an interesting question. Is it true that you talked Dave Vaughn into changing the pronunciation of his name due to years of mispronunciation?
No.
This is actually out there.
No.
It's just like, yeah.
You know, in fact, even when I mention his name now, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. So
How do you say it?
Gone.
Gone, yeah.
But I've heard people doing Gahan.
Gahan, yeah. Because I met Martin Gore once when I was in Turkey, and that's another story. I made such a fool of myself because I got all fanboy, but I managed to recover and save face. And I sold him some gear, and I managed to, in the duration that I was selling with the gear, I was with him for an hour, so I got to ask him all the questions. And one of the questions was, how do we say David Gahan? And he went, no, it's Gahan. It's gone. It's gone. He said, just say gone. Like, as in gone, yeah. he's got, he's got that.
I love that laugh.
He's got the best. We've got that on my channel at the moment where I've got this thing. I do the you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's as you do it, which is a good impersonation, but it's just the opposite of that kind of.
But this is the thing. If
obsessive
you
weirdo that I was expecting.
You listen to their music.
Yeah.
And then you meet them and you see him. He's so like soft-spoken and very geeky and such a lovely character. But the music is so opposite to their personalities.
Yeah.
Right. So okay. So guys, that's not true because apparently, rumor is that Dave Bascombe told Dave Gone change the pronunciation from Gahan to Gone. See, we are debunking a lot of myths here today.
It's funny. I don't know why anybody would. Where that comes from, you know.
But this is the problem with the internet today as well. Is just like there's all these facts that come out. Yeah, I won't get Simon started on that. Right. Okay. So this was really the first album that sort of guitars was sort of slightly introduced to it. Was that you suggesting it? Was it Alan? Or
I think it was probably Martin because he was getting more and more into the guitar. Yeah. But I certainly embraced it. Wholeheartedly. I mean,
because you're quite a rocker.
Yeah, I mean, I loved getting away from the. I kind of lost a bit of patience with them. I know that's the wrong word, but the industrial thing I thought was had been done,
to death. Yeah,
and it was inherently so cold, you know. That it just didn't really. Yeah, you know, I love the idea behind presenting Martin's songs in that way, but I was really pleased to introduce the guitar into it. I thought really opened it up so much. And you know, it might be one of your questions, but I think it's quite obvious to most people that I see it as a gateway to Violator.
Yes.
You know, certainly, and that's why I find it's not an album I go back to all the time because it's a little bit unsatisfactory in that sense, you know. But I know a lot of people love it, and hearing it again, I thought, wow, this is some great stuff here. But it wasn't career-wise; it was a bridging thing, I think. And guitar, moving to guitar was part of that.
Sure,
certainly, and I thought it was a really welcome step.
Sure.
You know, I mean, because it's just,
I just think at that point there was no way for them to really go with synthesized sound because I find that these days, even though synthesizers are so advanced, we're at a point now where maybe I'm narrow-minded, but you've kind of heard everything, and everything is just a rehash of something.
Well, but that's true of everything. Isn't it?
You know. So
I think. I mean, Martin has always had this stuff of the glitter band and that whole glam rock thing. Which you wouldn't expect really from him, but that's his age and my age.
Yeah.
So we got, you know, that's kind of because you grew up with it. I instinctively recognised that that influence.
Yes.
And I don't know whether Martin had always been into that, but he was certainly using the guitar, playing the guitar more and more.
And he's a very good guitarist.
I mean, certainly now. I mean, he was starting out. He's good, but he wasn't as good as he is now because he still felt like a bit of a beginner, you know. But but I mean, and a lot. Well, obviously, you know, personal Jesus. The riff on that is pure glitter band, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so I really like that.
And the guitar playing on Depeche Mode's music is not very complicated. He's a lot better player than what he needs what he needs to be.
Yeah, but you don't want something too flashed. So.
It was Flood who really as well, I think probably taking from where you left off, Dave, who really just said, look, your preconceived ideas are crap and you need to play guitar if it works.
Yeah, partly that, and I think, I mean, I'm not knocking Flood, he was absolutely like that, but I think part of what Flood did was, rather than saying your preconceived ideas are necessarily crap, but let's stick to the essence of what Martin's demos were. And you did some guitar on that. That's really good. Let's build on that. So rather the preconceived idea of it being filtered through Alan, I think was what he maybe got rid of. You know. So,
I see.
Although Alan was obviously hugely part of it, and and I might be completely wrong because I know there are. I think it's Enjoy the Silence, which famously Alan.
Oh yes.
Slowed down or sped up or something.
I always Enjoy the Silence as the sort of perfect example of Martin's demo being taken to the next level because the demo on that was a real sort of like simplistic harmonium.
Right.
And it was, you know, picking it up to 103 BPM and 113, sorry.